Hot diggity daffodil. It's not. It's another one of these late at night recordings of responding to a doofus. Last time
I
it
want to
was.
die.
Last time I was responding to a really bad review that I did. Now, the return of Tony Giggly Tits.
It's been so long. The last thing that we talked about with Giggly Tits was I think this is the Last Jedi video, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm glad the Last Jedi ruined your childhood, which took us like 2 recordings and total like nearly like 9 hours.
And was probably the angriest I've ever gotten in one of these recordings.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like if I ever. And the thing is, I kind of made up my mind is that like I don't want to subject Max to this fucking idiot. I don't.
Yeah,
I, th-
he
I yeah.
he's not worth the time for Max.
Yeah. I could tell that he was getting like Max was like just listening, re-listening to it. So like he's fucking exhausted. He's tired. He doesn't want to be there. He's doing it for us. I love that about the man so much. But I'm not gonna subject him to this guy ever again. That's just mean and cruel. However, I will subject you, Wyatt, because I mean I love you.
You're only saying that.
And this is how I show my love. Also, there's a new person. Say hi, new person.
Hello.
I thought
Yes.
you were I thought you were gonna genuinely say hi, new person. That would have been peak comedy right there.
Do you mind using your name, or would you like us to call you something different for the recording?
Different, because
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Anything you have in particular you want to be called?
just my Discord name.
What is the Discord
So
name?
so Diva.
Diva? Alright,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, Diva. If that is your real name, where's your mech suit? Show proof that you're Korean.
She just starts playing StarCraft too.
안녕하세요.
Oh my god, she spoke in the language, but
No, she just goes K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I haven't even seen the movie.
all right, Diva. I'm gonna need you to see you play StarCraft, like what Wyatt suggested. See how good you are. If you're able to beat the game in 5 minutes, I'll believe you.
If that even
5
is your
minutes,
real
damn.
name.
All right, so as you can see from the title, this is objective. YouTube critics are lying to themselves. Wyatt, you and I would classify ourselves as objective YouTube critics, correct?
As a matter of fact, no, yes, we are. And yeah, we like to view things on an objective level because it's fun.
It's fun, and I think I think it is also necessary, because how else are you supposed to like? Excuse me. How else are we supposed to like demand better from studios and stuff?
That's the neat part. You don't.
Yeah, but good old Giggly Tits here. Well, apparently we're lying to ourselves. Now, we're not going to get through all this video tonight because it's late. I've got off work, but I did a terrible thing and perused Twitter a little bit. I saw his Twitter profile, and then like I have this weird, strange like hatred for him, or at the very least his videos. So I wanted to like respond to one. I know.
Okay.
I'm very petty. I will admit I am very petty.
I mean, what else is new?
Yeah. So anyway, let's get started. Click.
All critics want to convince you that they're right. But what better way to do that than to argue that they're objectively correct? Not just correct or that they have the right opinion, but that their opinion is objective.
Anyone is welcome to generate an objective opinion based solely on the measurable elements of the content, or they can generate a personal, subjective opinion based on how they felt. But they are completely different conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, they are.
It's just You,
Makes sense.
congratulations. You've stated the point.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Like, I won't go too deep because I'm sure we'll probably have to go into it right now. But like, Tony, you have videos on your channel. Like, I think you have Tony. You have you have Tony's. You have videos on your channel talking about media and like asking questions of like. There was one that was posted after this, but I'm assuming he still holds this perspective. What is the right way to redeem space fascists or whatever? So like, basically like, okay, so that means there is a right way to do things, and even just
I
like,
mean,
so
no matter what, there is a right way and wrong way to do anything.
yeah, but if
like,
his whole
just-
idea is going to be art is subjective, then it's like, okay, well then I disagree with all of your opinions, and and I'm going to list all the reasons why, and you can't prove that I'm wrong.
Yep.
Objective criticism is when someone tries.
Okay, criticism. Slow down. I know this is Rich coming from me. I still have this problem. Slow down. Slow down.
To
You know he'll
remove
never do
their own
it.
emotional biases from criticism, to analyze.
Yeah.
It's one syllable.
criticism.
Criticism.
Like, maybe it's like a speech impediment he has, and if that's the case, that's fine. And like,
It's not a speech impediment. He just doesn't want to say the fucking word right.
I don't yeah, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. He doesn't want to say the word right. I'm not gonna be good faith to this fucking idiot.
It's not even good faith. Like, he could just not say it at that speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
it just ultimately, like, how we say words is entirely like at our own pace. Like, we're not in a speed talking contest all our lives. And this video is like what?
An hour
Over
40.
an hour long?
Hour
Yeah, he can take
41.
his fucking time and enunciate the words that he is saying.
Yeah, it is really weird just how long all of his videos are, and all the ones that I have seen are just feel so incredibly rushed and so incredibly haphazardly put together. It's actually insane.
Is the functionality of a narrative, cinematography, acting, etc., to determine if a film works. Now, on paper, that
excuse
does
me,
sound
sorry.
reasonable. I will say straight away that objectivity is typically a good tool when trying to examine the functionality of media. However,
Ooh, so you agree with us?
You know for a fact that he doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
the problem is a lot of critics who say they're objective use objectivity as a crutch. They analyze media in a way where they can argue that the film is objectively good or bad.
Mahler's infamous assertion that The Last Jedi is an objectively bad film was a declaration that launched 1,000 ships.
This may shock you, but Star Wars The Last Jedi is objectively bad content.
Correct.
It's not a good movie. It's been proven for fucking years by this point, Anthony.
Well,
Do
no,
you-
no. See, it's actually good because subversion. It's good because Ryan Johnson do thing.
No.
It's good because I don't understand the Phantom Menace.
Oh my god. The fucking easiest movie in the fucking entire prequel trilogy. Probably second only to Revenge of the Sith because it's got to just start answering fucking questions.
Yeah, it's not a hard movie. It's not a hard movie to understand. You could argue that maybe like because it's really slow and dull in certain places that you might stop paying attention because not that nothing is happening, but like the things that are happening are not conveyed in an interesting way, if that makes sense.
I mean, interesting, like, is I guess I almost said interesting as a subjective point of view because it's like the Senate scenes were very important,
Well,
so
yeah,
therefore just you pay attention.
well, no, that's the thing. Like I said, it's like not that nothing was happening. Important things are happening. This is the
Yeah.
way that George directed a lot of it. It kind of loses people because a lot of it's very dry, you know, where it's like, yes, this political stuff is very important for the plot. Could you have at least like conveyed
Liar.
it? Could you at least conveyed it in a way that could have been like, I don't know, like it could have been done better, but it was important.
It is provable. This is factual. You may enjoy the film, and even love the film, that's absolutely fine, but it is a poorly written film that stands as an objective insult to intelligence.
Now, mind you, these are subjective terms. Good.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Good and bad are not subjective terms.
okay, so if I buy a chair and one leg is significantly shorter than the others, by saying that that is a bad chair, am I being subjective, even though the point of a chair is to sit in, and more specifically, like we know that chairs need to have legs that are as even as possible, and if one is significantly less even, then sitting becomes difficult, and I could potentially even fall out of the chair, which is the antithesis to the purpose of the chair. So that is a bad chair. That's not subjective at all.
It's kind of funny that actually you were actually bringing up the thing I was going to bring up, because I also was going to say that if you buy a chair and it falls apart, it's not a good chair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if it falls apart or is just like poorly constructed, right? Like it's like, how if I'm trying to, like, you know, then how am I supposed to, like, for that example where we know that is not a well constructed chair, that is like a factually bad chair, is that an oxymoron? Because like good and bad, I just honestly good and bad I think are neutral terms, or they should be neutral terms, that you can use them in a subjective sense or an objective sense.
If good and bad are opinions, then
And opinions can be wrong. Opinions definitionally can be wrong. This is something that people don't understand, because if you look at the definition of an opinion, one of the definitions is that you can formulate an opinion without any knowledge. Without any knowledge, nothing. You can look at a person across the street and go, I bet that guy touches himself at night while listening to Rick Astley is Never Gonna Give You Up. You don't know that. He probably
Very vivid picture you just painted.
Yeah, but like
you know this from experience.
Yes. But you look at him, right, and you go, okay, but like that's an opinion formed from literally nothing. It is still an opinion, and that opinion can be wrong. So yes, opinions
This
can
is
be
true.
wrong, and opinions can be subjective, but they can also be objective. It's both. It's not a dichotomy. It's not either or. This is something that people just don't understand because they don't look at the definition of fucking words.
how can we objectively reach the conclusion that something is good or bad?
By looking at like its mechanics and how it works.
Yeah, by the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fucking easy, actually.
Yeah. I mean, like, you even go with this in like a scientific sense. Like, if I'm doing an experiment to determine the reproduction, the rate of reproduction of fruit flies, and like I add in spiders into the like just like a boatload of spiders into like the environment, and they eat all the fruit flies, well, that's a pretty bad experiment. And I say, well, that was part of the experiment. Well, that's a pretty poor experiment of determining the reproductive rate of fruit flies, now isn't it? That's a bad experiment for what I was trying to do. Like, and science is not subjective. Like, it is hard. It deals in hard objective facts.
It very much does.
If saying something is worse than something else is, again, an opinion, how can we objectively say something is the worst film in a series?
Looking at how it works mechanically.
Like, yeah, just seeing how its story is going and what it is trying to say about just anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is it thematically consistent? Is the plot consistent? Are the characters consistent? Is the world sensible?
Is it consistent with its theme? Because, like, again, like, to bring it up for the 7 millionth time, The Last Jedi has the theme of failure. Rey never fails.
Nope. Nope.
Problem is, people conflate an objective conclusion with irrefutable proof. And also, sometimes people who review media objectively are doing it either very poorly or using tangential evidence to make broad, sweeping declarations.
Tangential evidence. Oh man, I can't wait till he gets to this. After he tells us that this video was actually not going to be about the objective media critics, it was actually going to be talking about Roger Ebert, and pulls out Roger Ebert autobiography. Because remember,
yeah, Roger Ebert didn't get everything right. In fact, like, we looked at a few of his reviews, and he hated a good number of films that we absolutely loved.
Well, no, I was trying to make a reference to the last video we watched of him, where he just pulls out. This video is supposed to be about King Lear, and then I made it about The Last Jedi, and now we're going to talk about King Lear. We skipped that shit because it was fucking annoying. He just lied to us.
Yeah, he very much just fucking lied.
All of these are cases where objectivity doesn't really help all that much.
Objectivity doesn't fucking help.
Apparently not. Apparently trying to look at things with as little biases as you possibly can it's not a good way to do things, you know?
You can say you're objective all you want, but the moment that you either fail to use objective reasoning correctly, or your objectivity is clearly subjective opinion, it undermines your entire stance. And yet, critics constantly call themselves objective, and they remove their biases when reviewing media in order to give you the truth.
I mean, like, certainly at least try to. I'll certainly admit there are certain biases. Like, I tried to do my best to just give you the hard facts, and then after giving the hard facts, you then explain why all this shit that doesn't make sense makes you mad.
Yeah, that's just completely my own. That's my modus operandi whenever we review shit. Is I'm like I try my best to remain like not emotionally disengaged, but like, I am mainly looking at this from a mechanical standpoint. I can engage in the emotional side later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever that might mean. The style was popularized by reviewers like EFAP and Mahler.
No, it wasn't. It was around before them.
They just happened to be the current boogeymen for people like you.
Honestly, I think Spoonie was doing this kind of thing before them. Because, like, Spoonie in a lot of ways was sort of the proto-video essayist in a lot of ways. At least for video games.
Yeah, and as much as he wasn't correct about a lot of things, like, Doug was like that as well.
Mm-hmm. AVGN in a lot of ways was, when it comes to video games, explaining, like, how game mechanics, how game mechanics and level design fails. He was doing that. It was under the guise of an entertaining character, and there were certain, especially with Doug was certainly a lot more subjective than objective. But, like, they explained, like, they at least tried to explain objective flaws within a thing. Like, I'll never forget Spoonie's Final Fantasy 13 review, when, like, his Ultima 9 review, when, like, he goes over all of the inherent contradictions of Ultima 9 with all of the other Ultima games. that was happening before Mahler ever posted his first video. Like, it wasn't, and like it wasn't popularized, but people think it was popularized by Mahler because because again, TLJ was kind of like, because like 2017 was sort of like when YouTube video essayists really started populating YouTube, when you look back at it historically.
Yep, and like there's tons of influences. Like fuck, even the Red Letter Media reviews of the prequels.
Hell, I bet you could go back in time and find reviews of books from like the fucking 1850s or something. And they would probably go in like in great detail about how a book is good or bad. Media analysis has been around for thousands of years.
I mean, there's that famous clip from Unsubscribed where Actman brings a review for Mein Kampf from like I think it was around 1940.
Yeah, like media reviews have been around for a very, very long time. Ever since we've been writing stories, ever since Gug wrote like boobs are good on the fucking cave wall, and Crunk said, but what about thighs?
And then they killed each other because
Yeah.
they needed to eat.
Yeah, but no, like looking at like stories from an objective lens has been around for a very, very long time. And Mahler himself has even said this.
Yep, I believe in that very same video that he keeps showing off, which is TFA Part 1. He said it has existed before him and it will exist after him.
Yep.
Who believe that by going through a movie scene by scene, second by second, frame by frame, they could analyze the shortcomings of any narrative. I kind of see that like examining a painting made into pointillism style with a magnifying glass. Sure, you get a good look at how each dot looks next to each other, but you get a poor idea of how the big picture looks when you back away and see how those thousands of individual dots you were judging look together.
I feel this is like a really bad comparison.
This is a very bad comparison because what he's basically saying that we missed the forest for the trees, not understanding that that like the way we view it is more like the construction of a house. If the foundation is not put together properly, it's a shit house.
Yeah, like this right here I'd call a good painting. Very stylistic, but you can clearly see what it's trying to do. Trying to make a person's like face and outline out of a bunch of individual dots. However, if this was like someone took a turd and nailed it to a canvas and said, "This is art, this is good," I would say, "No, that's literal shit that's on your canvas."
No.
And also, I also just kind of think like while you are comparing art to art, they're different forms of art. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but like narratives and stories are a lot different than like a painting in terms of their construction.
They do this all the time. There's, as far as they're concerned, the distinction doesn't matter. Art is art. Even though there are many different kind of like I'm sure there would be like some video game critics that don't think the Metal Gear Solid games are really that great because of their over reliance on like 45-minute cutscenes, because it's an interactive media. I'd say they're wrong, but I would see where they're coming from.
Yeah. But no, like this is just not a very good. I don't think you can compare paintings to stories. Now, if you want to compare like a painting in terms of a visual aspect to a visual medium, like film with like cinematography and effects, I guess a little bit maybe.
I mean, like that ultimately is what most people are doing when they consume film in the first place. They do just want to look at the pretty colors
Yeah.
and be distracted for 2 hours.
But when we talk about writing and painting are very different processes.
Very much so.
You may miss the individual flaws of each dot. Maybe one's misaligned or one's slightly misshapen, but from the further big picture perspective, the dots come together to create a perfect whole.
Okay. But you could also just say, like, oh, some of these dots don't look that great, but the rest of them look fine. And therefore the thing has more quality than not quality, and therefore is good. Also, like I don't know. I don't know. This example is just really fucking confusing.
It's because that's the goal.
The goal is to confuse his mouth breathing audience.
And they probably are.
Seemingly, despite the small mistakes and imperfections, the whole still works.
But again, even from that perspective, like we point out issues and flaws in things, but we also view it as the whole, because if you find more merits than problems in a story, then the story is well constructed.
And hell, we even do this in opposite. We can point out, like, Superman that came out this year. Like, both Jake and I really enjoy how Clark was portrayed for most of that movie.
Yeah.
The movie in and of itself is not good.
It's really bad.
It's probably not the
Excuse
excuse me.
I don't think I can be particularly objective, because I despise Man of Steel with every part of my being.
So let's see. I actually think they're on equal levels of bad. I think they're both a 3.
Okay, I think
because the biggest problem is just both the world building and the villains' plans are just shit.
They are. Okay, yeah, I can accept that. However, we Man of Steel slander is welcome in our house, because fuck that movie.
It's because we're 2 Superman fans, and
Zack Snyder
and then
never was.
And then we've got a Superman hater over here.
Look,
Excuse
me. Don't call me out like that. That is not.
You don't understand.
I mean, I don't. I have a. No, I don't.
You know what?
I have a love and hate relationship with Superman.
Show her Superman versus the Elite. She'll be.
That actually is the plan sooner or later.
Show her Superman versus the Elite, All-Star Superman and Lois. I'll totally do a rewatch through, and cry like a fucking child at the end. All of it. Just take Superman Birthright and like distill it down into a liquid and inject it into her frontal cortex.
Oh my god.
And
alrighty then.
It's just like I grew up with different stuff.
Yeah.
Worse effects, but we'll get there gradually. Trust me, we have a lot to get through with this video. And here's the thing. Unlike a lot of Marlu's other critics, I think there is a nugget of truth to what he's saying. While I'm ultimately negative on Marlu's critical style, I'm not going to pretend that there isn't some reason to it, some logic.
I mean, it's probably because you just don't have the fucking attention span to listen to it, because you're stupid.
Yeah, or more just like ultimately Anthony's way of thinking is just art is emotional. That's just it. You cannot. It's the Hello Greedo situation. I cannot think of a worser thing than trying to debate art.
Oh wow, then I guess you just don't like a good majority of conversations because people have been debating art for fucking thousands of years.
Yep, they can't handle it.
How am I going to pretend that nothing Mahler says can sometimes touch upon authentic criticism?
See, he said it. He said it correctly there.
Criticism.
No, he said it more normal. So he can do it. He is capable of not sounding like a retard sometimes in a blue moon.
But I have a
I
few
think
objections.
somebody must have had a gun to the back of his head.
Naturally, otherwise we wouldn't make a video about this topic. Mainly because, well,
Honestly, I think you just make a video about this topic to stir the fucking nest. Which,
Yeah,
I mean, good job, I guess. Because but honestly, I think that I think people like this and organized chaos, and especially the Birdman, they're just looking for hate clicks in a lot of cases. Not that I don't think that he genuinely does. Not that I think he genuinely didn't want to make it, that he actually did want to make this, but I think that that a large part of it is simply because if I talk trash about Mahler, people will hate click this video. Which, here's the thing, I don't really have anything against. Get your bag as much as you can, and if the video's good, it's good, but
even if you call your criticism objective, that doesn't necessarily make your
Did it again.
statement compelling or
Yeah.
convincing.
I mean, yes, true. I mean, correct. You actually need to put forth the arguments.
Keep in mind,
Yeah, but who just goes, I'm objectively right, and then refuses to elaborate? No one does that.
Mm-hmm.
this is something I'm going to come back to. Just because something is objective does not mean it's correct.
What?
No. He is right. You can be objective and still be wrong in your assessment, because objective just simply means you're taking your emotions out of it. You can come to an incorrect conclusion while being objective. Like, science has done this a lot of times. They've come to incorrect conclusions while being objective.
Sorry, that it's just the way he phrased it threw me off.
Yeah,
It's also been a very long day.
fair enough. But like, you can be objective and still be wrong.
Compelling arguments are based on the idea that you can convince someone else of your opinion and perspective.
Thank you for telling us what compelling arguments are. Like, what is this? Like, even the mouth breathing dribbling tards that enjoy your videos, like, I'm pretty sure even they understand what a compelling argument means.
I don't think they do.
You're probably right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be subscribed to him.
True. He broke 100K, so I guess good for him. Good for him, I guess. Right? Like, slop content. I mean, I guess you could put him in unique slop content, like special slop content, the kind of special that requires you to wear a helmet.
That's it. That's it right there. Even by divorcing your subjective opinion from your evidence collection, this does not necessarily make your argument convincing. It's also
No shit.
important to bring up my personal biases from the start. Last year, EFAP and Baller
He's big mad.
He's big mad.
did respond to one of my videos on their stream and tore it apart.
Because it was awful.
Yeah, because it was a bad video.
It was shit.
You tore Literature Devil a new asshole for no fucking reason, and then you just, when it was time to talk about Anita Sarkeesian of all fucking people, you were just like, oh, she She just went at it from the wrong angle.
No, she was a lying, grifting piece of garbage. She is
You tried
literal grifter.
Yeah, that's honestly my biggest problem with you, Anthony. You're just a fucking asshole for probably the worst reason I could think of. We're assholes, but we're normally aimed at normally pretty dog shit content.
Yeah, and like, it's okay to say that Anita Sarkeesian was a lying, scamming, garbage head, even though her political beliefs mostly align with yours. It's fine to say that she was a shitty person that stole money from people, because she never fulfilled her promise of tropes versus women in video games.
She didn't do any of it.
She didn't do any of it. She didn't finish it. She set up a Patreon, or like she needed money to set up a Discord server.
Something you could do for free.
Yeah, you can say it's okay to say Anita Sarkeesian's a shitty person. It's fine. But no, like I don't know why you had to run any kind of defense for her.
Running, running defense on, of all people, Patrick Willems as well. He's run defense for almost everyone that is like on the opposite team.
Exactly, and even the stuff he wrote about Literature Devil, it's like when he was talking about Mary Sue's, and I think he used Superman as an example, and then he used Man of Steel as a counterexample when Literature Devil fucking despises Man of Steel, and Man of Steel is one interpretation of Superman. Because I'm pretty sure Literature Devil's using the comic version of Superman as his basis. So, different continuities, different interpretations of the character. Also, stop holding your microphone like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's a standing mic. You don't need to do that. It's attached to something. Hopefully your desk.
Yeah.
As of this writing, their stream has 194,000 views on their main 7-hour stream.
Bitter? Nah.
Just short
He's
of
not.
50,000
He's not bitter at all.
Yeah, this is not better at all, no.
on their highlights. It's their fourth most widely watched stream on their channel in the last year, and yet my original still has more than twice the views. So
Oh my god.
Fucking asshole.
Wow.
Mine still has all the views.
Well, first off,
Right?
Like, let me just rub it in first.
okay. So, first off, Tony, Mueller is the VOD channel. That's the secondary channel, not the main channel. Guarantee you, if the VOD went up on the main channel, it would get a lot more views.
Well, we don't even need to prove that. We can, honestly, I wonder if anyone's ever actually added up all the super chats. Because that's the easy, that's honestly the best metric you could fucking do when it comes to how successful a stream is. Because I know the source is kind of unreliable because it was Chase Face, but when you really think about it, they're making bank almost every stream.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money on every stream, and good on them. Get your, I keep saying, get your bag. But this is so fucking pathetic.
Yeah, that's why we just laughed at his face, because that was just that was the stupidest thing I've heard in a hot minute. Well, they tore me to shreds, but my video still had more views.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations, Tony. Your main channel content has more views than a VOD channel. With I think 3 times less subscribers than Mahler's main channel.
I think less subscribers than just the Mueller channel in general. I think Mueller might just have more subscribers.
What? No, Mueller has 100K subs.
Yeah, and Anthony only just recently crossed that line.
Yeah, he was around, I think, 40 or 50 when that video came out specifically. I could be wrong. But like, yeah, who cares? This also just really is like they tore it to shreds. It's like, okay, what did the stuff that they say, was it wrong? Like, maybe we'll get into it, but like,
No.
you're trying to flex numbers. Which, if you're trying to flex numbers, isn't this just an argumentum ad populum? So like, you're just being fallacious here.
That's why this is so funny. He's just bitter. Like now almost everything he's gonna say is invalidated because we just know this is like fueled by Bake Mad.
Yeah.
So I can't be too
Like,
mad about it.
way to go, asshole!
So
You fucking revealed your hand in the first 5 fucking minutes.
No. See, like, so I can't be too mad about it. You know,
You are Big Mad. That's the best part.
I can't be too mad about copium.
In fact, I kind of appreciate the free publicity they gave to the video. I do think their feedback was beneficial in some ways. Some of their criticisms did help my style.
I said it normal
forward.
again.
I also think a lot of it was a complete waste of time.
Okay.
Can't even give them like any remote credit.
No, he did. It's like some of the criticisms were good.
No, but then he was followed up by the most fucking like backhanded bullshit of all time. I also think it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know, we want to just like to be that guy for a second. Almost any video is a waste of time. That's just inherent. Like we want to just talk about just everything as a time waster. Because what does it mean to be productive?
Exactly. We're all getting older. We're all dying. We're all dying in a way.
I mean, we are oxidizing.
Yeah.
I genuinely think Mahler's style of criticism is extremely repetitive by its nature.
Extremely repetitive.
Repetitive?
I don't think I don't like how is it repetitive?
Pot meat kettle because he just keeps making the same video. Every time he comes back to this topic, it's the same video every time.
Yeah, but like, how's it repetitive? Well, maybe he'll explain.
And I will be addressing this in the video to follow in more specific detail.
In the video, okay, all right. So why can't you do that now though?
Oh no! Don't you understand? He doesn't have time.
Well, why doesn't he do that now since it's on topic?
There's no time to explain why there's no time to explain.
However, I do intend on being unbiased as a result of this.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a single fucking second.
You know what? Debate him. That is the English language decided to take a shit. No. Debate him then, Anthony.
I remember it was Kaiser's podcast with Celtic Phoenix and Twilight. I think Judgment Critter was still a part of it, but like he came on to their stream to like talk about that video, and I don't remember much of it because I don't think I tuned in for all of it. But like, goddamn, he was trying to like just from the way he was talking, it sounded like he was trying to like do a lot of damage control in a lot of ways.
I mean, we've brought on people that like we disagree with all the time. There was at the very early point there was that guy that said that Abby is a really great character, and we kind of had that video was basically saying like, hey, you're wrong, and let's talk about it. But we kept it respectful.
Yeah.
It is possible on the internet to be a nice person and still disagree on things.
I mean, Jay became Mahler's
Yeah.
friend because of the video that he made on them.
Yeah.
Unless absolutely relevant, I will be avoiding mentioning my initial video in this discussion. It will be mentioned, but only where I feel it was necessary to assist in augmenting my core arguments. Mahler is in many ways the poster child for objective criticism on YouTube.
Okay, so no. Can you pronounce criticism consistently correctly, please?
No.
again, I know that's rich coming from me, but still. Also, would you say he's the poster child? I mean, like, maybe nowadays.
At least for being on the internet, yes.
Yeah, nowadays he is. Yeah, I think that's fair.
With many people citing him as a key inspiration on how to effectively, objectively criticize film.
Well, that's just because a lot of the video essayists at the time, at least the more popular ones, was just a bunch of fucking mamby-pamby slop. Like actual complete and utter dreck of saying nothing. I mean, honestly, that's what inspired. As Mahler said since several times, that's one thing that got him to making content, is because so many critics on YouTube were just so shit at their job.
And also, again, he's not afraid to criticize his peers.
Exactly.
I constantly bring this up. Anytime Drinker has messed up, Mahler has said it.
Yeah. The thing is, Mahler kicked my ass in gear to actually start making worthwhile content instead of the lazy shit that I used to make.
But the problem is, many critics have already criticized Mahler, pushing against his idea that you can objectively judge a film. And in response to this, Mahler isolated a section of another video in order to devote to criticizing these critics. I would say this is the same thing I did with my original video.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It just is.
Yeah.
There's nothing to go around that. It was the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
The key difference is here, he has a lot of receipts of tons of people criticizing him in this, whereas at the time, I had very few of those.
Now, in relation to those who find my channel frustrating, there is an ongoing conversation about objectivity versus subjectivity. I have been made an example of...
Stop. Okay. Stop playing this music over it. Stop it. I don't want to hear your dumb music. I want to hear the Welshman speak.
He should have turned it down, to say the least.
Yeah.
As the channel who thinks his opinions are facts.
Or to put it like he likes to, his opinions are objective. And the opinions of people who disagree with him, well, those are just subjective.
Go fuck yourself, Quentin. You piece of shit.
I mean, Quentin's such a strange creature to me, because he's like, oh, Mahler is so fucking weird, all his videos are too long. Then proceeds to make a 9-hour review of iCarly.
Yeah. Here's the thing: make a 9-hour review. If you got 9 hours of content to talk about about iCarly, do it. Just do it. I mean, more power to you.
I mean, I guess, yeah. It's hypocritical, to say the least.
True. Or a 5-hour video on Victorious.
Isn't it so strange that people can't seem to get a quote from my videos that would even remotely resemble that statement?
Look, Mahler, I don't know how to tell you this, but lines like this kind of sound like that to the average person.
This may shock you, but Star Wars The Last Jedi is objectively bad content. It is provable. This is factual.
Yes, because it is.
It is.
Fucking moron. He uses there's a reason he did the 5+ hour breakdown of all his parts combined of TLJ.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours. But the thing is, people who disagree with him, Quentin's whole spiel was people that disagree with Mahler's, their opinions are subjective. No, not really, not inherently, and that's not what he said. He said that The Last Jedi, in terms of pure quality, is provably awful, which it is. That doesn't mean that if you disagree with that assessment, that doesn't mean that your opinion is inherently subjective. It means it's okay, why do you think I am wrong? And then, depending on how they say it or what process they do, they could be objectively trying to assess the movie and just failing to and just bringing up bad evidence. Or they could simply go purely based on their feelings, which makes it subjective, and then you're just having two different conversations.
No, it's not literally what you're saying.
I know it's not literally what you're saying, but it's figuratively what you're saying. Which it isn't.
But it sounds close enough.
No, not really. Not really.
I know it seems impossible to watch movies wrong, but you're watching movies wrong.
In that same video. Oh, okay. Hey, Anthony, you want to know why we make fun of this video so much? In that same video, he's like, now I'm not going to tell you you're watching movies wrong. Like 20 minutes later, you're watching movies wrong.
Yeah.
People don't buy review scores like 5 minutes later in the video. I'll sometimes check Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic to see how a film is doing before I see it.
Yeah, that seems contradictive, doesn't it?
And I'm not coming here to tell you that you're wrong.
6 months later.
You're watching movies wrong. You're kind of watching movies wrong.
This is what I end up hearing
Oh.
from the same people who believe they have more authority to speak on the subject of film analysis than others.
While this video is about 6 years old, it does offer a blueprint as to Mahler's perspectives on objective criticism versus the subjective criticism of his peers. In the video...
Breathe. Slow down. Breathe.
You have an hour.
Breathe.
Why are
Breathe.
you trying to rush through this?
Breathe. Preferably hide your face. Okay. That was a bit mean. He's not a hideous looking gremlin man. At least, you know.
It kind of looks like you.
Shut your fucking whore mouth. Shut your fucking whore mouth.
He criticizes video essayists on how they parade their
Wait, hold on. I think there was a flub there.
blueprint as to Mahler's perspectives on objective criticism versus the subjective criticism of his peers. In the video, he criticizes video essayists on how they parade their...
Oh my god.
He really doesn't like saying the word criticism.
Well,
Like that's
he,
what, like
he stumbled over his words and he kept the take.
yeah, he kept the take despite cutting earlier.
Yeah.
Anthony, you literally do not have a deadline.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, he,
like
he
you can
apparently he makes like very tight schedules for himself, which I appreciate the hustle, Tony. But fucking just slow down, or don't make them so long if you want to keep that tight schedule. I'm not long man batting you at all. If you want to make them long, but give yourself some fucking time.
if you're gonna make long form video essays, do them right. You're rushing through what is almost 2 hours worth of content.
Yeah.
their opinion as fact, or how to convince you without using objects.
An opinion can be factually supported, but we've already been over this.
Yeah, I'm still, I think out of the 4 people of YARP, I'm still the only one that's kind of hung up on this, but that's because, like, it's more of a personal, like, subjective reason, and it's because, like, I do like to focus on fact, like, sort of detaching from myself. How I think about a thing in terms of its quality, how I feel is irrelevant. Hence why I don't state that I have an opinion on something. I say that I'm going to state facts now.
I mean, fair. I mean, typically when I talk about something, I will make it abundantly clear what my personal feelings are about it, and then I will try my best to explain why I feel this way, and like trying to lay down the facts. Like my Godzilla X Kong New Empire, which script's done. Got first couple bits recorded. I don't think it's gonna be my best work. It's not that I didn't try. I did. But the movie is so fucking not objectively. Well, it's objectively awful, but it's so abjectly miserable, because being miserable is subjective, that, like, it was really, really hard to, like, stomach through a lot of the stuff. Luckily, I already had a first draft written, so, like, there were parts where I'm like, so I looked at the first draft. Okay, does this, like, match? Do I need to add anything? No. All right, copy, paste, put in.
It's kind of funny that New Empire was the movie that tortured you, because meanwhile, like, I to this day cannot stand Kong v Zilla. Like, it bugs the shit out of me to the point where I'm just like, I it's both that movie and BVS that has made me hate the concept of the versus movie.
So Godzilla versus Kong. So here's the thing. I still have that very visceral disdain and hatred towards Godzilla versus Kong, but it's like a very passionate hatred, you know, like the like, it's like when I first watched it, I'm like, I'm making a video about this. I'm doing it, and I did. And if I looked at that video and I wanted to like remake a couple things, oh, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd remake that. I'd watch that piece of shit movie. I'd remake the video in an instant. I'm never touching New Empire ever again. Ever again.
All of Earth's gravity in the opposite direction.
That's, yeah. But I'm, yeah.
So 1G.
Yeah, exactly. But because the hatred I have for New Empire is like that sort of silent stewing, like, I fucking hate it here. I hate being here. I hate this place. I hate everything. not like it's like the difference. It's like looking at your boss and seething internally rather than getting up in his face and telling him he's a fucking retarded piece of shit. You know, that sort of difference. New Empire is just fucking miserable. It's miserable, and I'm not touching any new honestly any MonsterVerse content ever again.
Just you wait. Like, you say that. You say that.
I'm not gonna watch.
I do not believe you.
I'm not gonna watch Godzilla X Kong Supernova, which, yes, that's the title of the movie. I'm not gonna watch it, Wyatt. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't believe you.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done with the MonsterVerse. I'm done with this fucking universe that I was excited for. You know, that like it had potential to be something cool and neat, and to watch it get utterly pissed away for superficial spectacle retardation. And then to see all these people fucking lap up the sludge and eat it and pretend it's the greatest fucking thing ever. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I'm genuinely, I'm not touching that shit anymore. After this, I'm done. I am done.
You want to know why I don't believe you?
Why?
You're still making Ruby videos.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey. I never said I would ever give. I made a video explaining why I still watch it, and it's fun. Making videos on Ruby is fun as hell. It's so fun. It's not fun for with New Empire, and I tried watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters. That shit was so miserable as well.
You know what's gonna happen, Anaya? Is the movie's gonna come out, and it's gonna be like throwing heroin in front of an addict.
No, I'm not. Even if you make me watch it for movie night, and you're the one that pays for it, I'm not making a video on it.
Yeah, you'll just make something on like Predator Badlands.
Oh God, I might do Predator Badlands. I haven't done Killer of Killers. I think Killer of Killers killed me.
I love how there's always just some new instrument of torture that I could just bring out for you.
I don't even know if I'll make a video on Killer of Killers, if I'm being honest. That shit, it actually killed me. Like, I just watching this, I'm like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've seen in such a long time.
We still gotta watch Alien Earth.
God, you whore. You dirty slut bag piece of shit. I bet you eat I bet you have pineapple on your pizza. I bet you put ketchup on your
took you a minute.
I bet you put ketchup on your well done steak, you fucking...
How dare you, sir? Just for that, I'm gonna make you buy 2 tickets.
No.
to Predator Bad. I'm gonna make you pay for my ticket like you did for fucking Kong.
I remember I sent you money for it.
And as I'm driving there, I'm like, I guess I'll go. As I showed up 5 minutes late. I didn't even go to the movie on time. I was like, all right, let's get this piece of shit over with. I didn't get popcorn. I made a fucking sandwich in the movie theater. I brought a bagel and some deli meat and cheese. I'm just sitting next to this guy who's just watching me make a sandwich in the movie.
What? You made a sandwich?
Yeah, I just made a fucking sandwich instead of watching the movie, the fucking opening credits, as they're like, oh, Godzilla's the greatest thing on the planet. Oh, but what about King Kong? And I'm just like, put the mustard there, maybe a little bit of lettuce. And then I just see the guy next to me just turning his head. I should have offered him a piece.
One.
Never invite me to watch your movie. Any company that's listening, because I'll do it again. Or invited to the red carpet. You just see me holding grocery bags.
You can't keep getting away with it.
I'm frying a fucking chicken.
Oh my god, a fryer near the wall, just frying some chicken.
I make sure that it like makes as much noise as possible as I'm hitting all the buttons.
Here's some clanking in the corner.
Yeah, purposely just shaking the basket as I'm like pulling it out. What? I was having fun for a moment. Is Anthony gonna ruin it?
Probably. That's what he normally does.
In their stances. And to go over what this means in its entirety, let's go through the segment of the video discussing other critics, their critical analysis, and how Mahler feels his technique differs from their own.
And all those plot holes people complain about, they don't actually matter. The actual problems are that many of the central characters are totally static and poorly motivated, and the one major moment of growth is caused by a ridiculous plot contrivance.
So, plot holes in favor of payoffs don't matter, but plot contrivances in favor of payoffs do? Patrick, you realize that a plot hole is a plot contrivance, but worse, right? At least with a contrivance, it could happen. A plot hole, by definition, is a strict contradiction. It should not happen. You seem to be contradicting yourself quite a lot.
Mahler's video starts with...
That is a correct thing that Mahler said.
Yeah, some of our favorite movies are built upon contrivances. Like Terminator 2 is literally built upon the contrivance that not only was another machine sent back, but the Resistance hacked the T-800 and then sent it back as well.
Yeah.
A criticism of Patrick Willems for being incorrect about plot holes.
But yes, to say that they don't matter is really stupid, because they do matter. Sorry,
No, but he doesn't believe plot holes matter.
I'm sorry, Tony. If you have a plot hole is essentially such a hard contradiction in your story that what happens within the story should either be an impossibility, should effectively be an impossibility.
Such as, I don't know, a Force Ghost summoning a bolt of lightning.
But don't you understand? Octu has a high Force nexus, and therefore...
Wasn't said in the movie.
But... my brain's too... in Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Godzilla is erased from history, even though the Godzilla they went to get rid of was not the one that was not the one that was in the present day, because in this continuity the first movie happened. So the original 1954 movie happened, and then you go to the Return of Godzilla in 1984. So the one that appears in 1984 is a new one, is a different Godzilla than the one that you have erased. But by taking the Godzilla from the past and bringing it to the future, which by the movie's rules, two of the same thing can't exist in the same time period, which is then also contradicted because Mecha King Ghidorah is made out of the body of King Ghidorah, who exists when it comes back in time. So one of those should disappear, meaning that it doesn't matter which one disappears, Mecha King Ghidorah can't exist. So you have multiple plot holes that utterly annihilate everything. And apparently it's one of the best Godzilla movies ever made, even though it's one of the fucking worst. Like, you had
Don't you understand? You're just wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm in the words of the most based rabbit girl on the planet. I'm objectively right. I'm objectively right. Because their waitress is just trying to get more money out of me and their whores.
Who hurt you?
Specifically, Willems compares plot contrivances to plot holes, saying that most people who watch movies complain more about contrivances than holes necessarily.
I mean, do they? I mean, I guess so. I guess you can make the argument that they complain more about contrivances than holes. Sure.
Possibly. The problem that ultimately I have is that if we were to so he's using Willems as his backbone for this argument.
Mm-hmm.
Willems isn't even correct. It is a huge, not even a contrivance, the whole Martha thing. It is a plot hole because, of course, Bruce knew that Clark has a mom.
Well, he literally,
and
when
he would have looked up her name, and her name being Martha, who just, a lot of people are named Martha.
Well, more importantly, he knew Clark had parents because he literally, when dragging Clark to go stab him, says, "I bet your parents told you that you were special," or something like that. So he knows Clark has parents. Like, so why is Martha like actually fucking important?
Why did you say that name?
Mahler says a contrivance and a plot hole are basically the same thing, because a plot hole is possibly worse.
I mean, contrivances can be holes. It just depends on a couple of things.
It mainly just depends on the severity, and it also just depends on where they're placed. Like, if contrivances being placed in the beginning of the movie are normally how we can sort of just get the ball rolling to tell the rest of the story.
Well, there's also just something about, like, to make a certain thing in the plot happen, you have to, like, contrive a bunch of events that do happen, and then by contriving these events, you inevitably create a plot hole because you need to hard contradict something in order to get there. So I can certainly see how a contrivance can also be a plot hole, or at least cause a plot hole.
Also, contrivances can be very easily explained at the best of situations. Oh, so Darth Vader just happens to go to a planet while trying to capture the princess. He just happens to go to his former home planet, where his droid that he built is there with his brother-in-law, where his mentor, and just happens to be where his son is. And it's like, Leia was going to pick up Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
She knew he was there. Like, it's easily explainable.
Yeah.
Let's analyze that for a second. As defined by Merriam-Webster, a contrivance is an artificial arrangement or development. In regards to the plot of a film, that's anything that feels fake in a narrative, anything that draws attention to the artificiality of the storytelling.
What does artificiality of the storytelling even mean?
Yeah, that's just a nothing definition that he just gave, or just a nothing sentence, because the movies. I hate to tell you this, Anthony. Movies aren't real.
Well, okay, so when I think of a plot contrivance, I think of something where like the plot needs a thing to happen. So regardless if it makes sense or not, the thing is going to happen. Like in New Empire, because it's fresh in my mind, Eileen brings Gia to Hollow Earth. Even though Eileen acknowledges that it's a terrible idea, and a child should not be going to that fucking nightmare hellscape that needs to be glassed over 7 times over. Gia's argument is, I can communicate with Kong, even though Eileen is the one that taught Kong sign language, so even if they needed to communicate, she could do it. But Kong communicating with him has nothing to do with why they're going down there. They're going down there to like find out where the weird signals are coming from that are messing with Gia. So like, why do they need to communicate with Kong? What is the point? That's not why they're going down there for. And Gia needs to be there in order to do all that retarded shit with Mothra. Like, that is a plot, and if you mean like, that is a plot contrivance. If you're talking about like artificially like creating scenarios in which like you need to get a character somewhere, I guess, but like convey it fucking better, dude.
So here's like, so I'm looking up examples because it's just it's just, excuse me, as the English language decides to die again. I'm just decided to look up like examples of plot contrivances because we do agree they have a lot more wiggle room than just a straight up plot hole. Balder punching the mistletoe in God of War. Like, he just happened to have hit that. It's not improbable that he would have hit that exact spot, but he just happened to have hit, like, pretty much the exact spot in which the mistletoe arrow was holding Atreus's quiver.
But you could also argue,
and that being his weakness.
But you could also, you could also argue that like where the mistletoe arrow was in like a general area of where like it's a lot, because wasn't it near his chest, or was it near his...
Yeah, and that's exactly where Balder hit him, because he's gasping for air.
Yeah, and hitting someone in the chest is like a common place where you would punch someone. So like it is a contrivance, but it's you could argue it's a contrivance, but like as a contrivance, it's not that bad.
Now, in this sense, all plot holes are contrivances, but not all contrivances are plot holes.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, that's true. Mahler never said that. So, okay.
Let me elaborate here more. An example would be if in the final act of a film, the main characters found a superweapon conveniently just lying on the floor. There's no build-up, there's no foreshadowing, it just materializes when the plot needs it. This is a contrivance. On the other hand, a plot hole would be if the standard weapon they've used the whole movie suddenly gains a massive boost in power for no explainable reason. It doesn't make any sense, it contradicts what comes before, it is a hole in the logic of a narrative.
Yep, that's true.
You would criticize both differently. A plot hole and a plot contrivance both will deflate the tension of a scene and remove any sense of concrete reality you're watching. It takes you out of the movie and forces you to question what you're seeing. The end result is ultimately the same. So, is Mahler right here?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean,
he very much is.
You literally just agreed with him.
Is it fair for Willems to make this statement? Is Mahler objectively the one in the right in this argument?
Yes. You agreed with Mahler, like whether you realized it or not. You literally just like agreed with the thing that he was saying.
Well, here's the problem.
Okay.
Only one of these feels contradictory to the elements previously presented. So, yeah, the inconsistency of a plot hole is a problem, but ultimately speaking, both do have the same end result for the audience.
Okay. What was Mahler saying that otherwise? He just said one was worse.
No, they're the same thing to him.
Yeah, they do the same. No one's that was never in contention. The contention was that the plot hole is a plot contrivance. It is a contrivance, but like worse because it's something that shouldn't happen. That's what Mahler said. You agree? You at least agreed with like what most of that was said. So you agreed with Mahler, but you're disagreeing with it because it has the same result on the audience, which he doesn't disagree with. And it's something that
Mahler
he never
can't
said.
be right, so therefore he has to disagree with him.
I don't understand. I don't like Tony. You could say that the sky is blue, and I would agree with you.
No, then he'd say it's green, just to contradict you.
In both cases, the viewer is taken out of the moment.
Oh, Samurai Cop, classic.
God,
classic movie.
If it draws attention to itself. The problem is, how seriously does the contrivance or plot hole take the viewer out of the moment?
Yeah. I mean, but
it also just depends on the rules. If you're saying it's a plot contrivance that that Ivy shows up at the bar, again, Scott has to fight Ramona's exes, and it's like, oh, how convenient they have those weapons. Ramona has access to essentially a extra dimension that allows her to basically pull stuff out of thin air. She essentially has a bag of holding.
Yeah.
It's not a contrivance. Everything lines up in this scene that you're showing us.
But like the thing is, there are people who are not bothered by some pretty big contrivances and plot holes. Like Deadpool 3 is like a great example of like there's so much stupid nonsense going on, but people didn't care because they laughed at the funny man in red.
I was gonna say, what do you mean? He danced to NSYNC. It's funny.
Yeah, but like the whole idea of anchor beings is fucking nonsensical. It does not make any sense. Like how does the universe exist when the anchor being isn't born?
Well, let's also just not forget that if that's the case, then the MCU is just fucked anyway, because you cannot convince me that Tony was not the anchor being.
Yeah. There's that. Like the concept of anchor beings is utterly fucking nonsensical. Like, and it's like people didn't care about that because people didn't care about that because they were more focused on the meta thing of like, oh well, now that Logan died, the Fox universe died, and it's like, I mean,
meta.
Yeah, it was like they were looking at it from a meta perspective. They're like, oh, this is a meta joke. This is a meta joke. This is a meta joke. It's like, yeah, but these things don't make sense. These things are really, really big issues. But and honestly, I would argue like sometimes even if an issue doesn't take the general audience, if you look at just general reception out of the story, that doesn't mean it's not an issue. That doesn't mean it's not a huge issue. I mean, it might not be a big issue. It might just be like a thing that's but it doesn't. Yeah, it's like it might be a nitpick, a flaw that doesn't really change or affect the story in any way, or it could be something huge that utterly annihilates the world or the story, but people didn't care about it for whatever reason. Like that's kind of that is kind of the issue when you look at general reception. It's like, well, it didn't take the audience out of it. Well, I don't care if it didn't take the audience out of it. The implications of this existing are this, and this, and that's a big issue.
And does it really impact?
Go ahead.
No, I was just
attention to itself. The problem is, how seriously does the contrivance or plot hole take the viewer out of the moment? And does it really impact the core point of a given scene?
It doesn't matter. Not necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. Like again, going back to the Deadpool 3 thing, the point of the anchor being is a meta commentary about how, like, in this case, Logan, the Fox X-Men Wolverine, on how he was the central pivotal character to all of this, and then once he died and went away, that universe very quickly died along with it, except for the Deadpool movies. Like a lot of the X-Men movies, like, they did not do particularly well, after Logan. So it's the whole point is a meta commentary on that. That's the point.
And how the TVA are trying to salvage Deadpool by trying to bring him into the main MCU.
Yeah. Because he's still a marketable character, and he can still make money. Like, that's the whole point. That's the point. But the point, but everything surrounding that point is fucking retarded to the point where it doesn't fucking matter.
Even though, like, we'll just be fucking honest, we didn't need to do that because it's just not necessary. Like, say what you will about Fantastic Four, at least they just say, fuck it, it's in an alternate universe. They genuinely could have just started Deadpool and Wolverine that way. They could have just said, like, Deadpool's just doing his thing, loving Vanessa, like being part of the X-Force.
They have a child.
And then Wolverine enters the picture. We get a big gasp because meta humor. And then we proceed to have the rest of a fucking movie. Maybe we fight Mr. Sinister or something. Like, we could have had a fun time-traveling adventure because Cable's still around.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Like, I hate to be that guy. I always hate to be that guy in saying that writing movies is not hard. Writing comic book movies, at the very least from our perspective, is not hard because we pay attention.
I mean, honestly, what would have been really funny for Deadpool 3 is if Deadpool was trying to avoid joining the MCU.
Yeah, that's originally when the trailers were coming out and he was fighting the TVA. I just thought that was just it. I thought it was just Deadpool, like, doing like a mini version of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, and he's essentially trying to cut out all the bad shit. So he's like trying to separate Loki from the MCU, almost like to the point he just get like we finally see him in the Marvel editing room, talking to Kevin. Ugh. And then once he's done editing and like they retcon Tony to just be a different actor, he then shoots Kevin and then goes back home, then eats a chimichanga.
I was actually, like, kind of doing the thing where, like, he's doing everything he can to prevent, like, the TVA from bringing him into the MCU, and, like, he's just constantly saying, go away. My timeline doesn't need to make less sense than it already does. And then honestly, it's a bit kind of a dour ending, but Deadpool says, like, nah, I'd rather my universe die than be joined to you. You're a cancer.
And then as the TVA try to like prune the universe, he just kicks it and it works because why? Because he has access to the script or something.
Yeah. And
he just scribbles over it with crayon.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think
it's not that hard. It's just I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Not that hard to write a comic book movie.
You didn't even need to have multiversal destruction in Deadpool fucking 3. Moving on. That movie is Deadpool 3 is ass, and I refuse to call it Deadpool and Wolverine. I call it Deadpool 3.
I think the most disappointing thing in all reality, like the thing that really bugged me as I was in the movie theater, just making a pizza, they're doing the whole like, oh, look at the memories of Wolverine, and it's just showing bits from the other X-Men movies. And I kind of just sat there going, you guys had the real potential to genuinely make this a different Wolverine. But no, you just made him our Wolverine again.
Yeah.
You did the laziest fucking thing. You have access to the infinite multiverse, and this is the shit you come up with.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can all come together and say it's been over a year now. Deadpool 3 is fucking shit.
It's a very bad movie, and it left a sour taste in my mouth almost from minute fucking one. I didn't laugh a single goddamn time.
I only laughed at the fucking joke about, like, get my country's name out your fucking mouth. I laughed at that.
Actually, that's not fair. I laughed when Nice Pool was shot a bunch of times. Like, oh, your healing factor will save you. Healing factor?
Well, I fucking hated Nice Pool.
That's because they just wanted to, that's the weirdest thing is also you had decent fight scenes, kind of. Like, as too fast as it was, I appreciated Wade and Logan fighting the Deadpool Corps. They shouldn't have went into the bus because we couldn't fucking see it.
And we would have been spared that awful, like, CGI shot of them coming out the back.
Why the fuck was the mask CGI?
The mask looked like shit.
You could have just made the mask and then just put it on him, because you have millions of dollars. You can't just make a piece of leather that has like these wings that look like ears.
Also, why was the fight with Sabretooth so fucking insultingly short?
Because it was just fan service. I didn't give a shit that these two... Because it wasn't even the same Sabretooth. That they genuinely brought back the actor from X-Men Origins Wolverine, that would have meant something. Because let's face it, like, we all appreciate the fight between... the multiple fights between Wolverine and Sabretooth in the first X-Men movies, but Sabretooth was barely a fucking character in those movies.
True.
In that movie, I mean. Meanwhile, Sabretooth from X-Men Origins Wolverine... very least, like, Victor had a character. He even had an arc.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, and the way they treated Johnny.
So bizarre considering, like, we actually have, like, a positive view of those movies. They're not good, but we can point and laugh at them. We can point at the goofiness of Reed Richards, like, on the dance floor, winding himself up like a spring.
Yeah. And then there's, like, some genuinely great scenes, like Ben trying to pick up the wedding ring, but he can't.
Oh, yeah.
His fingers are too big. And, like, the practical effects for the Thing are fantastic.
And probably the best looking version of Doctor Doom that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Like, because, let's face it, they're gonna try too hard with Robert Downey Jr.'s version.
They are. And honestly,
Doom literally just needs to be armor and a green cloak. You do not need to overdo it.
And they're probably not even gonna have him in this mask for very long.
Of course they're not. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I just healed my scar. Or they'll just have they'll do the thing that made him put his mask on in the first place. He'll just have some dinky little scar on his cheek. For those who don't know, the whole reason Doom continues to wear that mask is because that scar traumatized him because he was wrong on something and upstaged by Reed Richards, and thus he overdoes it by putting a fucking scalding hot mask on his face.
Yeah, like, at least Julian McMahon, rest in peace. He understood the assignment, especially with the second movie.
I don't think I will, Richards.
Yeah. And honestly, like, Johnny Storm, like, Johnny Storm saves the day twice in both movies. He's pivotal to the defeat of Doom and in both movies, yeah.
Yeah, one by being, like, essentially the Super Skrull, but himself, and then also by doing the supernova in the first movie.
Yeah. Like, and he's just treated like a fucking joke. That
Anthony, we'd rather talk about the Fantastic Four movies than watch your shitty video.
Yeah,
If
sorry.
you ever see this, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're too lowly for him.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll punch above my weight class.
Yeah.
Something that depends on the movie, on the scene, on everything. The problem is both Mahler and Willems are being pedantic about nomenclature.
No, they're not.
Not.
No, they're not. No.
The problems between a contrivance and a plot hole are pretty narrow, and it's very particular.
Hold on, I need to read that. Sorry.
The problem is both Mahler and Willems are being pedantic about nomenclature. The problems between a contrivance and a plot hole are pretty narrow, and it's very particular.
No, they're not.
Like, I understand, like, the minutia between the two can be a bit blurry, but they are on the same field.
They're on the same field, and like what Mahler said, a contrivance is something that could possibly happen, even if it's like the odds are so low that it becomes incredibly laughable.
The best way, like, in typical me fashion, using a movie quote to explain my point, the difference between a plot hole and a contrivance. That's impossible. Improbable. Pirates of the Caribbean. The plot hole is literally impossible. Like, it just happens. A contrivance is improbable.
It can happen, but it's just low. It's just like ridiculously low percentage chance of happening.
Yep.
So there is that difference. So there is a difference. So, like, it's not. And honestly, it's not narrow. Like, I think plot holes are just objectively worse than plot contrivances. Like, a plot hole is something that cannot happen by the movie's own established rules.
Okay, actually, I thought of a better contrivance, and it's the trope of it's all according to plan.
Oh, like fucking Ahsoka's retarded version of Thrawn.
Oh, that, and then also I was going to say Luke's plan in Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, like what are you doing here, Luke? You're gonna.
So I'm gonna send in Lando as an undercover guy. Then I'm gonna trade R2 and 3PO, and if that doesn't work, Leia is gonna pose as a bounty hunter, and turn in Chewie. And then she's gonna get herself captured, and then I'm going to come in, and I'm gonna kill a Rancor.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted the XP.
Yeah. Or just every time Ahsoka's version of Thrawn is like they shot.
Not even Ahsoka. Every version of Filoni's Thrawn, because it's just as bad as is in Rebels.
It's like they've shot my penis off, all according to plan. Necessary sacrifice.
You lost a bunch of men, all according to plan.
The real issue is that these instances take the audiences out of the films. It deconstructs the reality constructed unintentionally by the creator. And
yes, thank you for explaining that.
Thank you for explaining suspension of disbelief.
Thank you for
which is very fragile depending upon the person.
And more importantly, thank you for explaining the things that Mahler and even fucking Patrick over here were implying.
That was such a nothing sentence.
Tony, your videos don't need to be this long. They really don't.
It impedes the idea that they're trying to immerse you in an experience. It takes you out of immersion, and therefore it is wrong. Whether it's a plot hole or a plot contrivance is particular, sure, but it's ultimately secondary to the impact it has on the audience.
I mean, not really. A contrivance can...
It's a major impact.
A
plot hole can, just stop a movie dead in its fucking tracks. Especially, on the... especially when you're, for example, going after a beloved character and saying like, and no, I'm not going to talk about Star Wars this time. Saying that Tony didn't pay the Avengers.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
massive fucking plot hole.
yeah.
It implies that Tony was a piece of shit, and it's like, oh, but he wasn't though.
Yeah, it would be like in something that hasn't like had that didn't happen. But it'd be like in 40K, if it's revealed that like Vulcan was a cannibal and he ate children, and it's like, that's not Vulcan. What do you mean? Vulcan would never do that. Vulcan felt terrible by like Vulcan felt awful. He felt genuine like disgust within himself when he killed the Eldar child.
You don't even need to go that far. Like a plot hole actually just happened. The Terminus Decree.
Oh yeah, where it's like it's if the Emperor like wakes up, it's the Grey Knight's duty to kill the Emperor or something.
Yeah, to put him back on the throne.
Even though
it's like that's not what the Terminus Decree like remotely was, because that makes no sense, and also means that the Imperium like basically is a giant fuck you now has to implode upon its fucking center of government.
Yeah, that is really dumb. Or the classic example, fem studies. We're getting close to fem marines, Wyatt. We're getting close. We're like maybe a couple more years from it happening.
Over my dead body.
We're getting there.
GW's just sharpening the knife. Can do.
Also, Mahler, I need to question your logic here for a second, because you point out that Patrick Willems is inconsistent, right? But you see, you seem to think that Willems saying film critics being paid off won't impact general trends in audiences is inconsistent with how Willems will personally look at the reviews of critics that he trusts in order to gain insight to see if he wants to see a film. He's
proving his fucking point. Because yes, if you want to get people to see a movie, then you pay fucking critics. Even if you don't give them outright a fucking check, you give them like free viewings, you give them popcorn, you give them the best experience in the fucking world, just so they can give a positive review, and then thus more people will see the movie. That is literally the point that Mahler was trying to make, and he used Willems' fucking points against him, because he had just enough rope to hang himself when he talked about that.
Like, yeah, literally, it's like, oh no, why would they pay critics off to do this and that to get people to do that? It's like, well, Willems, you literally look at reviews of people that you trust, people that, like, of some of their professional reviewers that are paid off.
You're also just trusting the You're also just trusting the opinions of Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, which removed reviews because they would impact the overall score. The review of Black Panther, remember?
Trust is still at that 86%.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, they would just, like, there's always the manipulation of this algorithm to make a movie look as profitable as possible, when it's just fucking not.
And then, if you don't, and if you, and for a gaming example, there was a Dragon Age channel that criticized the demo of Veilguard, not really harshly, just pointing out a couple things that they were worried about, because it was a demo at the end of the day, right?
Of course,
and they said
they were concept.
They said that they were cautiously optimistic. Is that there were a couple things that were a bit worrying, but it wasn't too bad. That they could be maybe fixed in the full release. Maybe the full release would be a lot better. And they didn't get a review copy. They got the dead silence from BioWare, and their connections within the business said, "Oh yeah, no, you guys are cut off," because they didn't say it was the greatest fucking thing ever.
And because the video game industry is so incestuous, they more than likely have been blacklisted from multiple companies.
Yeah.
people write scripts with more inconsistencies than the films I am trying to criticize, and these videos that they make are only 10 minutes long.
Critics are not bought or bribed. Disney does not pay off critics to trash DC movies. It's not like bad reviews hurt Suicide Squad's box office, so why would studios waste money on that?
A few moments later.
Before seeing a movie, I'll skim reactions from critics I trust on Twitter, or glance briefly at the reviews, and if enough of them seem to dig it, I'll see the movie. Why would studios waste money on that?
Yeah.
Because it fucking works.
Yeah, you literally just proved that it works. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Anthony, just think for more than 5 fucking seconds. This is common goddamn sense we're talking.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just... We're never, like, when we talk about all of this, we're not... In all reality, we're just talking about the bullshit that doesn't make sense, and it's not hard to follow.
Yeah.
How do you write that in the same video?
You act like it's a contradiction, but it really isn't.
Yes, it is a contradiction.
It is! How can it not?
Why would Disney pay off a bunch of critics to write good reviews about this or bad reviews about that? Anyways, if I'm interested in a movie, I look at all of the people reviewers that I trust, and if enough of them dig it, I go see the movie.
And you can't convince me because it's Patrick fucking Willems that like all of the people that he quote unquote trusts weren't paid off in some form or another.
He thinks MovieBot is a real reviewer. How is good old fucking Diabito? Haven't seen him in a while.
I'll check right now because it gives me something to do.
And we're probably gonna wrap this up here in the next 15 minutes. I'll say that, and then we can. I don't know. Continue this some other time. I don't know. Tomorrow, maybe.
Possibly. It all just depends on it. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah,
it depends on that, actually.
You're good. It's pretty late for me. I do want to finish this though.
So, he did a review of War of the Worlds.
Okay. What's the title of the video?
Review War of the Worlds 2025.
Oh god.
And it just shows Ice Cube and the big screen with Bob Chipman and Clippy.
Well, I mean, it's the best comedy of 2025. I guarantee it's really funny.
Oh my god.
What?
However, the video that's after that is the Big Picture show, the Big Picture with Movie Bob. I am with Jimmy, and it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
You know, the guy who made fun of a political assassination.
Yeah, and not in the South Park way, in the like ha 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 ha, that person deserved it way.
So, way to make your stance on that clear, Bob.
Bob wants 70% of all the fucking population to die. He wants all Republicans and conservatives to die. If you gave him the power, he would kill all Republicans and conservatives. You cannot convince me otherwise. He is that.
I don't even think that. I think he'd actually I don't think it stopped there.
Well, no. He's one of those people where it's like anyone who doesn't agree with me, or is to the right of fucking Mao, is a fucking Nazi and needs to die.
No, and he's kept a list. You know he has. He's kept the fucking like a dwarf from Warhammer Fantasy. He's kept the big old book of grudges And if he had the Infinity Gauntlet, not only would all like conservatives die, probably the fucking McDonald's cashier that accidentally gave him like $1 less in change.
Or he'd probably like wipe out the McDonald's CEOs for switching up for switching beef tallow with normal vegetable oil with their fries. Because they used to deep fry their fries in beef tallow.
Bob is fat.
He's fucking awful. He's a really bad critic. He's
a bad person.
He's a shit person. Here's like Tony's a shit critic, and like I wouldn't call he's kind of I wouldn't even call him like a shitty person. They call him a really annoying person.
I would definitely say Anthony Gramuglia is better as fucking hell, and at the very least with his style of content making, it shows. I think about this almost all the fucking time. That stupid Last Jedi video and how I caught the mask slip. The moment where I was just like, hey guys, look at that. It's like that moment from American Psycho when he's leaving the dry cleaners.
Yeah.
And the mask slips. I know I called it out, and it's like, yeah, he's just kind of at the very least this is all facade.
Yeah, he does come off as very bitter, and honestly, you know what? I can't really complain or really cast too much judgment, because you watch some of my stuff, I am very bitter, and I'll fully admit that when it comes to a lot of the bad movies and bad videos that I watch for fucking content. Like I come off as bitter because I am.
I'm not as much bitter as much as I am baffled.
Yeah.
Like cinematic. I almost keep fucking said cinematic Venom again. It's for the second time that's fucking happened that I confused Rob with Synthetic Man. Yeah, it's the second time that's happened, and
Rob
I feel so bad because I've talked with Rob. I've had plenty of conversations with the man, and I keep making this fucking mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, Synthetic Man was like, he was just like, yep, the boss is a Mary Sue. Fuck you and everything you stand for.
Well, no, he's the straw man that people think that we are. He thinks female character that is good at thing equals Mary Sue.
And then meanwhile, as I showed you After Hours from fucking Crack.
No, shut your whore mouth.
Smaller. Patrick Willems is not indicative of the average moviegoer experience. After all,
that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. The average, like, it's fucking why I always criticize the average moviegoer, because the average moviegoer is a fucking moron.
Well, the average moviegoer, it does look at like reviews online to see if something is worth seeing if they're not sure.
Because they're sheep. And I don't even mean that in like a fucking mean, like dismissive tone of like, oh, they're just sheep, they follow trends. Like, no, that's just what we do as human beings. We follow trends. So if a bunch of people say a thing is good, then congratulations, they think it's good because they don't want to be ostracized.
The general Godzilla.
The general public clapped at Chicken Jockey.
Don't remind me of those. Oh God!
Oh my God.
So I'm not. Fuck.
Diva.
Yes.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, did you know they brought like
Chicken Jockey?
Did you know that they brought like an actual live chicken to that scene? Someone brought an actual live chicken and threw it around the theater at that moment.
Someone lit fireworks in a movie theater during that scene.
And then, after they traumatized and possibly injured the poor chicken, they just left it at the movie theater. They didn't bring it back.
But they didn't take it. They didn't even take it with them. Whose chicken was that?
I don't know. But like,
chicken. Hold on. That can't be theirs then. They just stole a chicken then.
Probably.
Or they bought a chicken and then just left it. No, none of that makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, but someone just brought a live chicken, traumatized it physically and probably mentally and emotionally, and then just left it because, you know.
We're going to talk about the Zootopia incident.
I don't want to talk about a bunch of furries getting together and having a public orgy.
No.
Or the fact that they had to post warning signs at viewings of Sonic 3 of not to clap when the child got murdered.
Well, yeah, because it's the thing that they remember from the games.
General audiences are stupid. Anthony, we've understood, like, this is, like, I don't think I'm superior to my common man, but I definitely do think I have, at the very least, a lot more focused critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
It is a contradiction, but it really isn't. Mahler. Patrick Willems is not indicative of the average moviegoer experience. After all, he knows critics by name. That already makes him not an average moviegoer.
But
your average moviegoer watches fucking shit on YouTube. What do you mean? Everybody's heard of Jeremy Johns. Everybody's heard of Red Letter Media. What are you talking about?
Everyone's heard of fucking Chris Stuckman.
It's what makes him even more of your average moviegoer. We're the outliers that we watch EFAP. Like, if we ever go see a movie, we're fucking, like, why? Why is he so stupid?
It's like he knows reviewers by name, okay? And an average moviegoer can't know reviewers by name?
Your average moviegoer has heard of fucking, like, Roger Ebert. He's been mentioned so many times.
Yeah, or Gene Siskel. Like they're like you're not telling me that like the average moviegoer that like goes and sees movies regularly does not have several reviewers that they know.
Everyone has heard of the man, the myth, the legend, Doug Walker.
Yeah, like you're telling. Like, especially since we live in the age of the internet, like normies are gonna have like a couple reviewers that they do trust, and they're gonna know them by name. You can't convince me. Exactly. You can't convince me.
Hell, it goes even beyond that and goes into just like streamers, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like your average normie will watch Asmongold or
Charlie,
Moist Critical, or fuck it, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie before he retired. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just like this is just in the zeitgeist because we're all so plugged in now. It's the whole problem with social media. We hear everyone. So your average film goer has access to all the information in the world and is listening to X amount of idiots.
Yes. Yeah, and to kind of go back, we know Disney and other companies pay these critics to do these things. We know this happens. We know this happens for a fact.
Why else would they pay content creators to not even pay them, give them free tickets and a plane trip so they can go to Disney World right during a release of a fucking TV show? Yeah, so they can go to Galaxy's Edge and then then talk about the new thing because they got early access because it's access media.
Yeah, which disproves Patrick's point. And then Patrick goes on and says, "Well, I'll look at these couple of reviewers that I know, and if they like it, I'll go see it." It's like, okay, but that does contradict your entire point. You're doing the thing, and then this dumbass comes out here and says, "Well, that's not a contradiction." Yes, it fucking is. Well, it's different because he knows them by name, and the average moviegoer doesn't or can't know certain reviewers by name, in which they typically agree with their points. Like, like I understand that we agree the average moviegoer is typically like just a sheep that does follow trends, like you were saying, Wyatt. But I don't think they're that stupid. I don't think I'm pretty sure that that a lot of them, or at least a good number of them, do tend to at least know a couple of reviewers that they trust.
I don't think. Let me rephrase. I don't think the average person, not the average person, the average moviegoer, I don't think they're stupid. I will say, I'll say they're gullible.
Well, yeah, okay, gullible's a good word, a good way to put it.
Because it doesn't. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, because they don't watch movies like us, it's just so they can. Like most people go to movies during the summer just to escape the heat.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I remember back in the 2010s, I used to be a fucking Jeremy Jahns fan. I mean, I out of the normie reviewers, I think he's probably the best. But I used to listen. I used to listen to his opinions and typically agree with him in a lot of stuff, as well as a couple of others. I still can't remember who they are.
Do every once in a while. Jeremy is still also Jeremy, like us, is he'll notice when he's wrong. Like, let's face it, he fell for the hype of the sequel trilogy, and then once time passed, he was like, wait a minute, these movies don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. I just it does it even if though, Tony, even if you were right that that Patrick Williams that Patrick Williams is different from the average moviegoer because he knows them by name, Patrick still contradicted himself. It doesn't matter.
Also, what does that mean to know them by name? Like, the way he's saying that doesn't mean that he sees them on YouTube. It makes it seem like he's like, oh yeah, because he's friends with them. It's like, yeah, he's a content creator.
But even then, I always got that he's implying he has certain reviewers that he trusts their opinions, whether he's friends with them or not, and he'll see what they have to say. It's all right. We'll go for just a little bit longer.
Most people can't name critics, even Roger Ebert. Someone obvious like that. So the
citation.
How stupid do you think we are?
Yeah, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel had a fucking television show that was watched by a lot of people.
G4 was a major fucking network television channel, and it reviewed stuff all the time. We still think about Olivia Munn, Adam Sessler,
Morgan Webb.
And Morgan Webb. Yeah, we think about all this kind of stuff all the time because it's knowing a critic's name isn't hard, especially when they're cited as much as they often are with review shows. That's why, for example, Nostalgia Critic still respects the shit out of Roger Ebert, despite the fact that we've proven time and again that Roger Ebert was also kind of a fucking moron when it came to certain things.
True, and you also take this into consideration, Tony. We're in the internet age. You'd be surprised how a lot of people in their 40s or even 50s watch people like Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman.
My dad watches Red Letter Media.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. So
celebrities know these fucking review shows because we have celebrities on them. Macaulay Culkin was on Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
He was on The Angry Video Game Nerd.
Mm-hmm. I remember I believe it was The Completionist, and this was before the controversies. He had Steve Cardenas, who played Rocky from Power Rangers, when he did his I believe when he tried to do his the Power Rangers the movie on SNES, or was it? I don't know. It was someone had Steve Cardenas with them. I believe it was The Completionist. But
Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the countless celebrities and just people they brought on. I know they're not reviewers, but they're still internet people. Like, this isn't. You have entire generations. Like, not generations. An entire generation that grew up with the pink mustache man and the Irish green eyeball. Like, this isn't hard. We become addicted to internet personalities. So the idea that your average person doesn't know a reviewer it's the most improbable thing of this entire video. I almost said impossible. It's not impossible.
Yeah, like it really is just one of those things of like I don't know, maybe he'll show some statistics on screen to like prove us wrong, but like
I wouldn't believe the statistic.
Yeah,
because he probably pulled it out of his ass, or it was a poll from his audience.
Either that, or he won't actually just post the source.
My sources, I made it the fuck up.
The average person is already different from Patrick Willems in this sense, but also him discussing his personal feelings is.
But even if the average person was different from Patrick Willems, it doesn't matter if he knows the names. He's doing the thing that he said wasn't. He's literally doing the thing. Doesn't matter.
Why would companies do this? Because it's profitable.
Yeah, why would you do it? It's not like this and that.
It's borderline free publicity, regardless of the direction it goes in.
Yeah.
There's bad publicity is good. There's I'm sorry, the phrasing up. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah. I mean, even though that's not true, but yeah.
Is not contradictory to the general trends of audiences. Objectively,
it's contradictory to Patrick Willems and what he said, not the general audiences.
Mahler's stance here is incorrect.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Mahler, I wouldn't even care about these small details, by the way, but you make such a big deal when anyone else slips up, and you act so confident about this. Like, this is a big deal, but it doesn't make any sense logically. It sounds like you think you totally got Patrick Willems here, but you really didn't?
You did.
You did, though.
Literally caught him in a contradiction. Why would they do this? Why would they pay this money and to pay these people off? To get, and then goes, well, these reviews, they were good for people I trust, so I'm going to go see the movie. But it's
and no one's immune from this either.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. I certainly wasn't back when I was like 17, 18. Certainly, when I was like a fresh out of high school, I certainly wasn't.
No, wait. Well, I mean, yeah, that's because we're all dependent upon the trends. Video games would live and die depending on who was playing them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's more your tone that makes it sound like you got him, but when you look at the words you're saying, it doesn't make much sense.
If you're
so you have a problem with this tone. What are you, 5?
I mean, like it does. I mean, the words, whatever. We're just beating home the point. He's fucking wrong on this.
Now, I do have issues with Willem's video on plot holes. I don't think it's flawless, but these are ultimately arguments about the specific examples Willem uses rather than the core points that he makes. I feel like these examples do
because the examples are fucking important. Because, like, for the love of God. These are major fucking issues that are also misconceived all the time. Like, they think it's a plot hole that they don't use the Eagles. It's explained just by common fucking sense. If they flew there, they'd get shot down. Whereas something that even Willems is kind of even right on with his own point. Yes, why does Buzz freeze?
Yeah.
He doesn't know he's a toy.
Exactly. And it's not even necessarily that. The Nazgul will have their fell beasts, and like because the Eagles are carrying people on their back, they can't be as maneuverable or as like ferocious as they could be if they didn't have people on their backs. So like
not even that. Remember what Boromir said. The very air is toxic.
That is kind of contradicted a little bit with Frodo and Sam going in there and being relatively fine.
To be fair, they were in there a very short time, and while they were still on their way there, they were getting more and more exhausted. By the time Frodo was crawling up that fucking mountain, Sam had to fucking pick him up because he was just exhausted from carrying the ring and in being in Mordor, where the ring is the strongest.
True, but there is just also the fact like I would certainly agree. Like if they flew up high enough, they'd go right into that fucking cloud of volcanic ash and chemicals and shit.
From the core of what Willems is saying, that we should watch movies more for the experience and less about the logic of individual scenes.
You can do both. Oh, and again, another instance where Willems was wrong. The acid! He says, why doesn't the acid melt through the ship? It is said in the fucking movie that eventually it neutralizes itself because the only thing that can be compared to is molecular acid.
Yeah, it oxidized. Like
this is what happens when you pay attention.
And like, and it's just basic law of conservation of matter. It's like it can only burn through so much.
Movies aren't about logic.
They are very much about logic, Patrick.
They're about their own logic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not equations. They're not proofs. They're not puzzles. Movies are not math. Remember?
I mean, like, making a movie there's a lot of math involved in it. Like, kind of, depending. Like, money math. There's money math.
Hmm.
Remember that guy in your freshman dorm who would always try to guess the endings of movies so that he could prove that he was smarter than the people who made them? Well, now everyone is turning into that guy.
What's wrong with that?
Granted, like, it doesn't help when, like, as I'm not necessarily that guy, but if I can see a joke coming from a million miles away, not necessarily on a rewatch, because that defeats the whole purpose. No, if, on the first viewing, if I can see the joke coming from a mile away, I'm not going to laugh. The joke has lost all its punch. That's just how my sense of humor is wired to how I can predict things.
Yeah.
That's why I think I love YouTube poop so much. They're unpredictable for the most part.
Agree with that core idea, but as time goes on, I do agree less and less with how he argues this point, and even in some cases, what the core argument he's making even is. In part because, actually, I do think that Batman getting into Gotham at the end of The Dark Knight is a massive plot hole.
The Dark Knight Rises, we never see how Batman gets back to Gotham City. That's a plot hole.
One of the earliest.
So now he's responding to. Oh yeah, but now he's responding to Patrick Willems.
Because he's an unfocused fucking mess. Also, yes, it's very like yeah, okay. Not to beat a dead horse of my utter hatred for the most part of the Nolan trilogy. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Bruce has no money. All the routes into Gotham have been blocked by either destroying the bridges, except for the one that they could blow up. Then there's also the tunnels have been collapsed. Again, Bruce has no money. Is also on the other side of the world. How the fuck did he get back?
I'm just more baffled.
Good
like
question.
Patrick Willems isn't one of these objective movie critics, though. So like,
he's not. He's one of those like it's all. He literally said it's all about the art.
Tony,
it's all about the experience.
Go back to Mahler.
Cinematic developments was the concept of montage. The idea is that when two images are presented in sequence, the audience understands that they occur chronologically and will mentally fill in the time between scenes. So, for instance, if a person is in one location and the next scene they're in another location, we understand that in between scenes they traveled between the locations. Movies tend to assume that the audience is reasonably intelligent.
So, no, movies treat you like you're fucking 4 years old. Also, your examples are just utter shit. You're trying to explain montage, and you show examples that are very reasonable, such as how did these people get to the bottom of the stairs? They walked. How did Danny Ocean get from prison to Atlantic City? It's reasonable to say he took a cab.
I still just want him to stop. Why are you just Stop. This is about objective movie critics. Why are you responding to Patrick fucking Willems?
Because he thinks, I guess he now thinks they're the same person. I don't fucking know.
All right, you know that's I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna call this part right here. It's
14
late.
minutes in.
Yeah, 14 minutes in. We got 2 hours and 9 minutes out of that.
I want to commit self-delete.
I just want to take a shower, go to bed. So
I still haven't made food.
yeah, I know you could have said no.
I can't resist you.
Fair enough. So we're not.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
We're not done with this video. Yeah, we're not yet. So yeah.
That pause. We're not done with this video, and then you just start looking down in like quiet defeat.
Good night, everybody, or good morning, whenever the fuck you're gonna say this.
That was my old outro.